Who are you all?
So, hi, my name.
You're not on Team Score.
Okay, I need to chill. My name's Courtney Cox. I am a test engineer at Sky and I work on the Sky Sports web team.
I'm Amy Cooper's. I'm a Scrum Master at Sky and I've worked in the service, TV and protect areas of the business.
I'm Sophie and Courtney. I'm a developer and I work within the Sky News elections team.
Stunning! And these ladies are some of our OGs. And you can answer in any order, you don't have to go one by one. But so, girly whirlies, what do you love the most about being part of the G&T community?
Oh, it's got to be like the energy, like, and that inclusivity. It's like whenever you come to like any of the events, it's just like there's automatically like you just feel so welcomed, and it's like the range of people as well. What do you guys think?
Well, definitely the range of people you meet, literally people from all different roles and industries. So, because obviously tech, you think maybe it might be a particular industry like telecommunications or anything, but you can have banking, finance, HR. It's so varied where tech covers. Obviously, one of my favourite things about G&T is the pink. Obviously. Thank you, definitely.
Yeah, I think for me, it's how supportive everyone is. Everyone's just like cheering each other on, like bigging each other up, and of course love the pink as well. I just love how fun and just engaging everything is. It just feels like when you come to the events that you've been going to them for years, and that I just find the networking and everything just so easy, just to talk to people, which I've not really got anywhere else, which is definitely my favourite events to attend.
Girlies attend all of our events. Is there a standout event from the past that you think, oh, actually that was my favourite? Or
I really enjoyed the last one, the allyship. But then I've forgotten it. Is it Gina? Yeah, she was amazing. Like so much energy. Yes, that's what I really enjoyed that one as well.
Bring back Gina.
Yes.
We love
Hashtag.
I loved the International Women's Day last year. Yes, that one was so much fun.
What do you love about it?
Oh, I loved your speech as well, what you did, and the intro. And I think it was just the whole, like the feeling in the room and the vibe of everyone celebrating. And I absolutely love the networking bingo. Oh, yeah. I have stolen that idea. I just love it. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
And I think kind of touching on what you were saying about your journey, I think it highlights so much that just because you're on a set path, like what you start on a path, that doesn't mean that's the path you end up on either. Like you can almost like with the squiggly careers, like there's so many different journeys that you can take. Like I'm a career changer, like just because I started in teaching, like didn't stop me then from coming into tech. And I think it's good to hear those stories from a variety of people too.
Yeah, it's really important. I think especially for tech, there's so much emphasis on grassroots as in coming from uni, but actually there's so many women that work in different industries, TV, hospitality. They've got transferable skills that they can get into tech and be phenomenal. So Dirty, sort of following on from that, let's go back to early on in your career. What is something that you worried about early on in tech that you now realise wasn't as big a deal as it felt at the time?
So I would say with that one, I suppose things that I heard back when I started my career in tech, and even I suppose the grassroots side of things as well, is this phrase about I'm not technical enough. Yeah. And I'm like, it's my biggest bugbear, because I'm like, we're all in tech. You don't have to write code to be technical. Like I know from a Scrum Master perspective, I'm not going to be on the technical level of my senior developers and testers who I am in awe of and what they do, but I can have that understanding of what they do to help them, to support them, to build that high performing team where like I'm still in tech just because I'm not writing code. And I think that's one thing that I want to make sure that like young women and girls can hear. There's so many roles in tech. Yeah. So many.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think something that really surprised me as well. So having like 13 years in one career and then almost feeling like I had nothing to offer to like go to another career. And it's just like, actually there's so much. But one thing that came up quite a few times with different recruiters was like, we can teach you the tech. It's often like the core skills or what people say is soft skills. They're not that teachable. And like that's what we really want to bring in. And that's the skills that you've got. So there is so much more that you have to offer.
Like to add on to that the soft skills are so important. Like you can be taught technical skills, but you've got to have like the passion and strong communication. And I think for me as well, it's like it was the fear of like not knowing stuff. So at the start, I also thought, you know, maybe I'm not technical enough, had that imposter syndrome, and like worried, like the fear that I didn't know anything. And then I think once I kind of overcome, it's okay to ask questions and to say you don't know things. Because that is just how you grow. So it was kind of a mental block to be like, okay, I need to just ask that question. Don't sit and struggle, just ask. I think that's a strong asset to have when you can say that you don't know something, and then you can grow from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just touching on from that, some really great points there. What soft skills do you think are really essential to be good in a role in tech or in the roles that you're in? Soft skills that we can talk to people that might not work in tech at the moment and think, well, you've got A, B and C, you'll be good in tech. What do those soft skills look like?
Verbal communication, asking questions, but also just being verbal in your understanding or with other team members. It's that personality and being personable, because I think, you know, people think of, I don't know, if you think of the IT crowd where you're in the basement or something. We're not. We're not. We're loud and crazy as well. And I think it's that actually having that personable aspect and being able to communicate with people in like most companies that I've worked for, and like Courtney said, like normally the person, it's comforting that someone's asked a question and they feel like they can give something back to you as well. So I
often get concerned if people don't. I'm like, right, come on, are you okay? It's not perfect.
And I think communication, being a team player, like team working, problem solving, critical thinking, like all of them things that you can bring forward and use in even like presenting and things as well, like having skills to be able to like deliver, you know, showcases and presentations. And I think they all just link together to, you know, what am I trying to say? They all just combine together and feed into one another. So, and you can carry them forward.
And you'll be at different stages as well. So I think no one has all of these kind of skills like on point. No. Like you will, as a person, you'll develop, like if we all probably look back at when we started to where we are now, communication, verbal skills, problem solving skills, just team play, everything we've mentioned, we've definitely grown and got better as we've gone along in our career. It's like learning to drive. You won't start off with just being like that. Like, you know, you might hit a wall now and again, but you know, you'll get through. Literally. Keep going.
If you were to go back to day one of your career in tech, is there anything that you'd do differently or anything that you think, actually, you know what, I wish I was a bit more like this early on?
When I first started, I genuinely thought that everyone knew what they were doing. I felt like, I remember going to, like, my mentor at the time being like, I don't think I'm meant to be here. Like, you know, like seriously, I was like, everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone seems to know, they all know what's going on. And I just feel like I don't. And then it was, if I could go back now and tell myself, like, you need to push through that, because it's just that other people are better at disguising it. And that just didn't click for me. Like, I thought I felt out of place. And then once I noticed that other people didn't know what they were doing, but they didn't always say, I think it's because I was too open. Like I just kept on saying, I don't know that. Can you tell me that? Oh, my favourite one was, can you draw me a diagram of what?
That was mine. No,
I don't understand.
I'm still like that on AI now. Can you just show me the flow chart? Thank you, I've got it now. Thank you.
And like to add on to that, it's just learning styles as well. Like I would go back and say, just make sure I know my learning style, because it's like a mixture of different things, and I'm quite visual, but then I also like to learn by doing, and then I sometimes do a bit of reading, so it's a combination. And
I think a lot of it as well, it's being able to like celebrate that actually you do have like a valued opinion as well. And like often when you first start, like when I first started, it's like, oh, should I be saying this, should I be saying that? Especially because like I moved from a role where I was like a head of department, so like I was kind of helping making those decisions, and then I've gone to a place where I'm just like, I'm like, I'm not at the start of like my career, I'm just like at the start of like a new part. And sometimes it's like, well, actually I'm looking at things in a different light compared to what other people have, because they've been in tech so much longer, so you start to kind of tunnel vision a little bit. So it's like, actually no, bring that opinion forward, because they might never have thought of that, and that's actually something that could have been relevant at that time. So
you've got that seat at the table company for a reason.
Yes,
like there is a reason why each of us are in a company, in a role, and we all matter. And I think the one thing is, as cheesy as it sounds, like the differences that we have in terms of personalities, learning styles, that makes the diverse teams that we need. Like if we're all same in our team, we'd probably all be quite boring and not as efficient, and like not taking yourself too seriously. And I think as women, like you sometimes think, oh, like I don't know, if we think of like Legally Blonde, like I love how that, like she wore pink, she didn't, you know, she was all her beautiful, like I always think of myself as like a goofy kind of type of person, and at first I was like, oh, I should maybe like hide that and tone it down a bit, but actually, and I probably did when I was starting out in my career, and just, you know, corporate, come on, or just especially when it was male dominated areas, I was just like, I don't want to be too silly. But actually now I'm like, it's your personality, and you need that, you need it.
Yeah. So we're talking about networking and community. So how have networking and community spaces helped your confidence and career, especially in tech?
I would say with the networking side for me, it's getting to know a variety of people, because you like learn about their experiences as well. But then through kind of networking, you learn about opportunities that you've just never even been aware of. And so kind of building up your confidence that way to be like, oh, actually, they've just shared this opportunity. Do you know, I am going to go for it. Like, word of mouth is like really powerful. Like even before I started at Sky, there was lots that I was hearing really good about it. Otherwise, like, I might have been like, oh, I'm not sure. Maybe actually I'm not good enough for it.
I think it definitely builds up, like you said, the relationships. And I think you see a lot of familiar faces in the events because it's so comfortable and because it's so lovely and pink. And you have like, you know, people from all different backgrounds and walks of life coming in, and you build that relationship with people. And I suppose as well I think back in the day, I suppose networking had a kind of scary connotation, and you come into a room and then you freeze, and we probably all have gone through that. But actually, I suppose the G&T events actually make us kind of introduce ourselves in terms of a more people-focused way as well, and it's become more natural rather than, hi, I'm Amy, and this is what I do, and then it's really robot. So I think actually, like the networking has helped kind of have that more natural conversation when meeting people and speaking to people like people, and not like we're all robots meeting each other.
And I think as well, like, because especially now with the events, like having the amper up, or like where you have those positive messages, because I would say probably the first person in terms of leads that I connected with, unfortunately there was a Christmas event I couldn't make, but she had left a positive comment about me, and like I had no idea like that I had that kind of effect as well. So it's also like, sometimes with like networking, you don't always realize the power that you have like on that next person as well. And I think that's really powerful when it comes to networkings, communities, and
lifting each other up. I think that's it. And I think these networking events literally embody women empowering women. Definitely.
From going to the networking events, it connects you with different people, but then it's opened up opportunities, like you said, so because it's from going to these events that I've learned about certain conferences, about certain programs that I've then gone on to go and join and be a part of. And like Sophie introduced me to the Kajigo program, and then like finding out about that, and then it's all through like coming to that space that
like ripple effect.
And you learn through these. I just wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have been any wiser, to be honest.
I think it's really important to make those, not be afraid to make those network connections. I think it's something along the lines of actually the closest people to you, you're not going to necessarily find your next opportunity. It's actually the people who are like another step out of you, like within your kind of things like LinkedIn and stuff, because you just, if you might see a job advertised through them, but it's because you've seen that because you connected with them probably a year ago. You might not have spoken to them in that time, but it's still then within your network, and you're like, oh yeah, you then find that opportunity.
Yeah, that's such a good point on LinkedIn as well. Sorry.
No.
It's talking over you. You just got me thinking as well when you mentioned LinkedIn, like about when we go to these events, we post afterwards about girls in tech and that we've been, and then other people see it, then want to come and message you about it and like, when's the next event? I used to hate posting on LinkedIn. Like my mentor literally said to me, like, I was like, no, it's so cringe. I'm not doing it. I was like, I'm not doing it. I cannot post on there. It's so cringe. I don't want to do it. And then my mentor was like, but if you don't post and share these things, like, how is anyone else going to know what you're doing? And other people will get to like learn and know that you're going to these events and you'll help someone else. And I was like, yeah, you're so right. So like I got over that. Now I post all the time. I just posted this morning and stuff. Like I'm just posting all the time with it.
But it's like your cheerleader. It's like I'm a big advocate for like being a cheerleader for like other people, and I suppose LinkedIn, using that as an example, it's like with the relationships you build in these networking events, when you do apply for that job that you know because you've connected to that person, it's like they can be like your cheerleader in your back pocket, and then you can be a cheerleader for other people.
And so, how can we encourage more women into tech? So if we've got someone that's looking to get into tech, they've never worked in tech before, what, I guess, one piece of advice would you give them? They're fresh on the market, they're ready to join tech, but they just don't know where to start.
Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, or ask someone to help mentor, or like just join that community. Reach out.
Who can I ask?
G&T.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the key. For me, that would be my ultimate advice. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help.
And I think a piece of advice, I suppose more like for companies, if I do it on that kind of aspect, is make sure as a company you are investing in the outreach programs, the initiatives where actually you can bring young girls and women and people into the corporate world, the non-corporate world, bring it into your industry and show them a day in the life. It literally can be as simple as that seed that you plant to inspire someone. And then, like we said, obviously LinkedIn, that is, you know, you can message anyone on there just for a bit of advice. And I think that's the one thing though for companies, make sure you connect with other people to bring people in. And even if it's your parents, like bring your kid to work day, but let them showcase what we do.
Mine would be to find a mentor or a community that you can go to, so it's less lonely and you can go and ask questions and kind of build your network and relationships through that. I didn't consider a career in tech until I got to uni, and I just stumbled across it as part of my degree, and I never thought it'd be like something that I could do. If I knew earlier, I probably would have considered it a lot earlier as well.